What's up, Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. There's even more new iOS 14 details for the iPhone 9, iPad Pro, Apple TV, and AirTags. Plus, MacBook Pros are getting the scissor-switch keyboard, and the coronavirus is affecting us all. But before we get started, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online community with thousands of classes in design, business, technology, and more. A premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes from experts working in their field so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work that you love. Now, two of the classes that I've enjoyed were going freelance, which is exactly what I'm doing now, and DIY cinematography helps show me ways to really improve the quality of my videos. Now, the quality of content here and learning is really legit stuff from true experts in their field. Skillshare's annual subscription is less than $10 a month and more affordable than other learning platforms, but you can go to this link on screen to get a free 2-month trial. I think you're going to really enjoy it, so check out Skillshare. Tomorrow is for the taking. All right, let's jump into the show. And first of all, we just got to give the team at 9to5Mac huge props for all the latest iOS 14 leaks that reveal even more about what's coming from Apple. And we talked a whole lot about the iPad Pro in my last video. And according to the iOS 14 code, it confirms the new iPad Pro will indeed come with a triple lens camera, and a camera setup will include the ultra wide angle lens, wide angle lens, and telephoto lens like the iPhone 11 Pro, but it will also include a time of flight 3D sensor. And this is a huge upgrade compared to the single lens camera on the iPad Pro, and it would be the first to get this new 3D sensor. Now, the time of flight here is expected to really open up all new augmented reality features and code inside of iOS 14, but that also revealed that Apple is working on a brand new AR app codenamed Gobi. Now, this will let users get more information about the world around them with this new AR experience. 9to5Mac says it's currently testing with Apple stores and Starbucks, and QR code like tags in the area will help iPhones and iPads know what augmented reality experience to use. Now, in an iPhone tidbit, the iOS 14 leaks confirm that iPhone 9 or SE2, whatever we call it, will have Touch ID like rumors were reporting, and will also support Express Transit for using your iOS device to quickly pay for public transit rides. iOS 14 will also be bringing some smaller, subtle improvements to the iPhone. The big A is planning on bringing a new screen that lets you see all of your apps in a list with different sorting options. You can already do this on your Apple Watch, and I honestly didn't even know you could do that until now. Now, the default sorting will be alphabetical, but other options could be things like recently used apps or apps with notifications. That would be helpful. And there's also reports that iOS 14 will support third-party wallpaper collections and have them integrated directly into the iOS settings. Now, inside the code, 9to5Mac found references to photo categories like Earth and Moon or flowers. I mean, maybe Apple will finally launch a wallpaper store like other phones do, because you know that people would buy them. Now, we've also seen previous leaks in iOS 13 that have referenced an all-new Apple TV 4K launching soon, but there are no specific details on that hardware. Well, the iOS 14 code indicated there will also be a new Apple TV remote. You know, that little morsel of news might be the best thing that I've heard this entire week, because the Apple TV remote, it ain't cutting it. That thing is trash. And its touchpad navigation, notoriously hard to use, and it was so bad that a Swiss TV company made a replacement remote and sells it online that works with an Apple TV out of the box. See, now that's a bad Apple turned into a glad Apple.
Yeah!
Apple, you heard our cries after what, how many years? 4 or 5? Yikes. But that's not all. Apple is also developing a new workouts application for Apple TV codenamed Seymour. Maybe they codenamed the new remote Butts. Get it? Okay. Now, it will allow users to access guided workouts and be coached via the Apple TV. All the data will then sync to the Apple Watch, and then you'll be able to access Apple Music for the workouts as well. And a little tidbit about Apple's rumored but confirmed trackers called AirTags. iOS 14 reveals that you'll be able to set them up in bulk and pair them through iOS, and they'll also have user replaceable batteries similar to the Tile item trackers. Honestly, I can't wait for AirTags. I'm sorry, Tile, because not only will AirTags really be super accurate, they're going to enhance being part of the ecosystem using other people's iOS devices to help you find your lost items. Now, I think they'd really be genius if they could find lost individual AirPod earbuds, but they won't unless you stick an AirTag on them. All right, HomeKit will be getting 3 big improvements, and it needs all the help it can get. Night shift will be coming to smart lights in iOS 14 on HomeKit, giving it the ability to automatically adjust the light color temperature throughout the day. It's like the feature on your iPhone screen or your Mac screen, a cooler tone during the day and then a warmer tone at night, but this is all going to be automated. iOS 14 HomeKit will also be able to have some level of face recognition to home security cameras. It will not only be able to recognize people in general, but offer notifications around a specific person it identifies. This new feature doesn't have too many details around it, but it's really trying to customize your smart home or know that it's you when it sees you. And this one's for my peeps using HomePods for Apple TV speakers. iOS 14 will have a permanent audio output option, so you won't have to manually choose them as the target speaker system on Apple TV with AirPlay 2 every time you want to use them. I hear like 3 of you saying yes right now through the screen. Like Joe in North Carolina, I'm happy for you, bro. But you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the HomePod, but I do love its sound. And Best Buy, believe it or not, is currently selling brand new HomePods for $199 each. Now that is $100 off its retail price and $150 lower than its original $349 price. And can you believe that thing was $349 and people actually bought it? Some people even bought 2, like Joe in North Carolina. Now I bought one a long time ago, refurbished for $199, just so I could kind of see how it evolves and grows. The answer is very slowly, but it sounds amazing, and it's my quick go-to speaker to listen to music. I'm not trying to make you all here spend money, but for $199, I think it's worth it for that price, especially if you've really been on the fence. All right, let's jump over to the latest with Apple laptops. Ming-Chi Kuo reports Apple plans to release new MacBook Pro and MacBook Air models with the updated scissor-switch keyboard in the second quarter of 2020. That's in the next 3 months, everybody. So the 16-inch MacBook Pro was the first to get it, so we're assuming that he's talking about the new rumored 14.1-inch MacBook Pro that would then take the place of the 13-inch one, and a new MacBook Air with the keyboard update. And if this is true, then Apple's entire notebook lineup will be updated with the scissor keyboards in 2020. But also, like, let's look at the end of this year and into 2021. Cho also says Apple plans to launch MacBook models with its own custom processor in either the fourth quarter of this year or the first quarter of 2021. He didn't indicate which models they would be, but we've already seen iPhone processors as far back as the A10 in the iPhone 7 be able to outperform the entire MacBook Air lineup at that time in 2016. And then over the years, the A series have performed on the same level as even entry-level MacBook Pros. So Apple has more than enough processing power to bring them to a MacBook. It's just really more a matter of when they actually want to do it and what apps will support it. And the Surface Pro X is really a prime example of this. Great hardware that had plenty of issues when it came down to what apps its custom ARM processor could or couldn't support. So rumors have been pointing to Apple building hardware with their own processors for a while. We know this, but even AMD processors were found being referenced in macOS code recently, potentially hinting at maybe a backup or transition plan away from Intel. I talked about it in another video, so you can check that out, but we're going to see how this all comes together. Could we see an Apple custom chip in 2020? I'm going to push more like maybe 2021. And we've been talking a lot about Apple potentially doing a late March event on the 31st for a while, but according to Colta Mac, their sources say Apple has postponed the event on Apple campus due to coronavirus concerns and restrictions. Now, Santa Clara County, where Apple is located, has banned all gatherings of 1,000 people or more from March 11th until April 1st. So Apple wouldn't even be able to hold the event if they wanted to. Coltamac sources also said there were delays in producing 2 of the primary products, which also led to Apple's decision. We know that factories in China had to shut down for multiple weeks in February due to the coronavirus outbreak, and those production delays may have affected the low-cost iPhone 9 release. We've seen this widespread cancellation of major events like E3 and NAB, Google I/O, Facebook's F8. They canceled as well. Apple's WWDC in June may be in jeopardy next. I mean, the NBA, my favorite league, has suspended its season now after the Utah Jazz's Rudy Gobert was confirmed to have the coronavirus. And he thought it was funny and made a point to touch all of the reporters' audio recording devices 2 days before he was confirmed to have it. And it's also now spread to other teammates. Come on, Rudy, that's a bad apple. Boo! Now, Apple's news app, they've gained a coronavirus special coverage section if you want to check it out. And Apple stores, they've been told to be limiting try-on sessions for Apple Watches and AirPods in store. I mean, think about it. Even before coronavirus, are you really trying on AirPods that a stranger just wore? That's gross. They've also been doing extra cleanings of display products throughout the day at the stores, because if there is one place where everyone is touching everything, it's an Apple store or a gentleman's club. See, things are different right now. Sometimes it kind of feels like it's straight out of a movie, but even if it isn't affecting you directly, coronavirus, it's affecting us all. Like, we still don't know how much it's really spread in the US, and we've been so lucky to have what we have, do what we do, that I think it's another moment in this year to just be grateful that we're still hanging out, watching a video about the latest tech toys coming out from Apple. Unless you're someone who already just stopped watching like a long time ago. All right. Thanks again for Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Remember to go to this link to get 2 free months of online classes from legit experts in their fields. And if you like this video, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my videos when they drop. And if you want more, check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast, where we go for a deep dive into these stories and more with special guests. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, everybody. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.